Hey guys, what's going on? This is Travis P11. I'm back. I just wanted to give you a quick 1-year update on my ZTE Max Duo LTE 4G phone that I purchased from Straight Talk. I actually got it at Walmart basically a year ago. I paid $200 for it. Now this is the model Z963VL. It is running Android 5.1.1, I believe. Now, I just want to talk about some of the pros and cons of this phone. Now that the phone is a year old, you're going to start to see these showing up probably at a reduced price, at a discount, etc., from your local Walmart store or even on straighttalk.com. We'll talk about the prices here in a second. Basic vitals, what do you need to know? Height is 6.5 inches. Your width is 3.3 inches. Your thickness is 0.36 of an inch. It does have the dual cameras that it uses. I believe it uses the second camera for photo effects, which other than filming and regular snapshots, I really never used that in the end. The dry weight is 6.53 ounces without the battery. I did go ahead and weigh it with a scale. It weighs 8 ounces with the battery. So you're looking at about a half a pound. It is kind of a hefty phone. Color is black. Let's see here. Screen size is 6 inches. Resolution is 1080. Width by 1920 height in terms of your screen. It is TFT Gorilla Glass, and I will attest to the durability of this glass on the phone. It's fantastic. Front-facing resolution is 5 megapixels. Rear, it doesn't show, but I want to say it's 13. Yeah, it is 13 megapixels for the main rear camera and 2 megapixels for the secondary camera that's used for the visual effects. Your battery is 3,500 milliamps. The processor is 1.5 gigahertz, and it is an 8-core octa-core processor, and it can take up to 64 gigs for memory card storage space. Let's see here. Anything else we need to know? We got your Bluetooth 4.0 going on. It does have Qualcomm Quick Charge 1.0, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And it handles a variety of different video features and so on. Now, just after a year of use, let me just talk about some of the pros and cons of this phone. Pros, first of all, the battery. I've been able to go 8 hours or more on a single charge, using it off and on. When I'm on the road, you know, your first 10, 20, 30% will drop off in about the first 5 or 6 hours that you're using the phone. After that, the battery it really does hold up well. I can basically get an entire day's worth of use out of it. I know a lot of people have made comments in my first video last year saying that they purchased the phone, and they've asked me a lot of questions about it. It has been very reliable for the most part. In terms of running apps, there really isn't any issues I've run into. I'm a little bit disappointed that there has not been a push out for a newer version of Android, but Straight Talk, I don't want to be a jerk, but that's kind of typical of what they do with their phones. I purchased 3 phones so far through Straight Talk, and I don't think any of them have ever had any kind of an OS update. By the way, I apologize for the screen blurriness. If you see any marks on the screen and so on, that's because I have a screen cover on this. Durability for starters. Okay, I've dropped this thing at least 5 or 6 times from 2 to 3 feet onto concrete, onto carpet, onto the hardwood floors in our home, and I have yet to break the screen. So definitely a testament to the Gorilla Glass. It is very, very durable. The processor speed is pretty good. It hardly ever lags out. The only time I have any issues is if I have a bad signal on the phone, like a poor reception, say 1 bar, which isn't really an exact measurement, but in that kind of a situation, the phone can sometimes be a little bit slow to load things on the screen, but the browser in general is fine. You've got 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz bandwidths on the Wi-Fi antenna, so it's going to be fairly speedy. I've used this for a ton of Instagram photos. I've used it for a lot of YouTube videos. It uploads videos rather quickly. I just use a lot of basic programs. MyFitnessPal, Waze, Twitter, Lyft, Instagram, WeatherBug, you know, obviously Gmail. I got the whole Google suite on here. I love the screen size because it's very easy to read documents. It's real easy to read text. And I've got mine set up fairly huge. I've got 40-year-old eyes, guys, here, so give me a break. So I do have larger icons and so on. It's just easier on my eyes in general. On that end, it is a bit bulky to try to pocket carry this thing. I mean, you've got to have a fairly sizable pocket, especially when you put it in a case like I do. And I just got my case from Amazon.com. In fact, I'm on my second one because I basically wore out the first one. But I mean, it is pocketable. Like rear pocket is usually how I carry it when I'm out and about. I don't do any kind of a waist holster or anything like that. What else do you guys need to know? Okay, so let's just talk about reliability real quick. It's been good. It's been very good. A few times I've had some programs not respond and I've had to exit out the programs and leave the programs. But for some reason I've had it just basically restart on its own, and it seems to have happened a couple times when I plugged it in or unplugged it, about probably 6 or 7 times in the last 3 months. So we may be getting to the point that it may be starting to get physically something wrong with it, and maybe starting to get a little more buggy than usual. I mean, I haven't had it just restart for no reason. It seems to be when I unplug it, I hit the first app and then the phone just restarts. And I know people are complaining about this out of the box having this problem. So something to watch for if you happen to pick one of these up. Battery does not get hot at all when you're charging it or using it. Audio player works great. Bluetooth works great. I've not had any issues connecting to any vehicles at all. You know, when you launch your browser, it is speedy. It does get you where you want to go fast. I do like, yeah, truth about guns, there you go. Yeah, by the way, I'm primarily a firearms channel, just so you guys know. It's kind of odd that I'm doing a phone review, but I figured, hey, I still have the phone. I'm still using it after a year. Storage space. Now, you only got 16 gigs of storage space, which I believe it's like maybe 10 or 11 after the operating system has been installed. So that's something you got to take into consideration. I did get to a point where I was down to about 300 or 400 megabytes of storage space. I was starting to get a little bit low, but then when I went into settings and just cleared out my cache, it did free up a couple gigs for me. So you're not going to get that huge amount of space that you're used to in other phones. Like right now I've got 1 gig available for storage space out of 16, and I do have a 32 gig SD card that's got 10 gigs available. But again, I shoot a lot of video and take a lot of photos, which I save primarily on the memory card. So that's going to eat up the memory card space quick. So 1 gig available. All right, that's not a lot, and I'm not expecting any system updates because, again, ZTE, I believe it's up to ZTE to push that out and not necessarily Straight Talk, and I have not received anything yet. But overall, it's been a very good phone. I mean, I love the screen. It's nice and sharp. The camera is excellent. Video footage is great. You know, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I would consider buying one. Would I buy one now? You know, for about 179 bucks, there are some newer phones out there under 200 bucks that Straight Talk is carrying that you may want to consider. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any. I was looking at them last time, but they all sound the same after a while. So you got a lot of options. Now, in terms of price, you can buy one of these brand new at Straight Talk's website for $149, which I paid 200 bucks for mine. And at the time, for the size of the screen, for what you were getting, I thought it was a pretty good deal. You can buy these refurbished from Straight Talk for, I believe, $74.99 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, $150 brand new, $75 basically refurb. I would not buy a refurbished one. I see how people treat their phones. I see what they do with them. They drop them in the toilet and turn them in and say, oh, my phone's acting up for some reason. And I don't know. I would have trouble buying a refurb unless it had a 1-year warranty or if it came from ZTE. All right. So overall, I've been very happy with the phone. I plan on keeping it. The battery has held up excellent. I mean, I haven't had any issues with the battery at all. You know, I guess I don't even know if it's removable. I've hardly paid attention to the back of the case. I'm sure you can get a replacement battery if you want one. But overall, it's a good package, guys. It's a good phone overall if you want something, especially now at 150 bucks. I feel like it is a very good deal. Call quality is fine. I do wish that the speaker volume was just a little bit louder. I don't know. It's in both the speakerphone portion and the earpiece, but it could just be my hearing. Now you do have the 2 sets of grills on the bottom of the phone. Speaker grills, whatever you want to call them, and one of them is the mic and the other one is the actual speaker itself. That was a big deal when I first started reviewing the phone a year ago. People were saying, hey, you know, is it supposed to have stereo sound? Why don't I get sound out of both speakers? Well, they use one side for the mic and they use the other side for the system audio. So that's something to keep in consideration. All right, so hopefully this isn't too blurry on the screen, but really, I mean, you can check the phone out yourself at Walmart if you ever go up to one, if you've got Straight Talk nearby. It does run on CDMA and it does run on Verizon's towers. Otherwise, guys, I think that's about it. I mean, it's been a wonderful phone so far. The screen, that's the best part about it. A few times I've dropped it, I've kind of cringed worrying that maybe when I pick it up, I'm going to have a broken screen and we're going to have some issues. No problem so far. So that's it, guys. That's my 1-year update on this phone. Again, for 150 bucks, it's a fantastic value. You know, for 180, you can get some newer phones with newer versions of Android on them. So maybe consider going that route if you want Android 6 or 7 or whatever they're up to right now. I have no idea. But it has been speedy. It's not laggy at all. And I do highly recommend it. So, you know, if you get a chance, check it out. I got a feeling they're probably going to drop down even more. I mean, man, if they drop down to 100 bucks, I'd consider buying another one, just to have a spare in case this one ever goes out. But you know how it goes on, guys. Well, as time goes on, cell phones, they always get cheaper and there's always newer specs that come out. So there you go. All right, guys, so I want to thank you for watching today. If you like what you saw, please like or subscribe. You can check me out over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm also over on gunchannels.com. I'll have links for everything in the bottom of this video if you want to keep watching. Who knows, maybe I'll do a 2-year update if the thing is still running. If I do have any major issues or if the phone should happen to die, I will definitely post a video about it and give you guys a heads up. A few people have complained about the chargers on their Max Duos, and I never had any issues with mine at all. And I bought 3 extra cables from Amazon. I've had no issues charging it, from the cheap little $5 cigarette adapters to using other chargers around the house that'll take a USB cable so I can charge it. USB-C is a little bit of a pain, but it does charge quickly. It's a bit of a pain because the cables you can't just always find them everywhere if you need one. I always have to make sure I have a spare with me because everybody either has, micro USB or, I don't know, whatever Apple calls their charging cable. So there you go. All right, guys, thanks for watching today. Again, please like or subscribe. And I think that's about it. So I want you guys to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, guys, bye-bye.